Hey, babe. What's going on?
Yeah, not much. Ready. I'm excited for our chat today.
Yeah. I'm excited too. But sorry, people, bear with me. I'm not someone who goes on camera ever, really. So.
It's my husband, Derek.
Hello.
Mr. Thomasone. And I'm Leela Thomasone. And you had a good idea for our video, didn't you?
I think so.
I thought it was a really good idea.
Yeah. Thought, I'd like to talk about how this relationship and meeting you has changed my life. You want me to just start talking?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, what made you think of talking about it?
I think we were talking about careers. I think that's what made me think of it, and then it dawned on me yesterday that since meeting you, I have more than doubled my salary and am close to tripling my salary since meeting you. And I was like, wait, that seems like something pretty cool to share.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you said you had a totally different idea of how marriage would be or how it should go before we met.
Yeah, well, I never thought I was going to get married. I wasn't even dating. I wasn't, looking for anything. I thought that I needed to get settled in my job, my career, before moving forward with any kind of relationship. And, I was traveling a lot. I thought I was just going to travel from place to place and take advantage of that while being single. And then I met you, and, well, here we are. Yeah, that didn't happen, but it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, I was at that, before meeting you, I would travel, live one place, think that this was going to be my place, and let's get my career started there. A couple years, throw all my life's belongings in my truck, go to the next one across country, do it again, and do it again. And I just thought maybe one day the right town, the right situation was going to hit. I just needed to keep doing that, but that was not working. And if I didn't meet you, I'd probably be doing that same pattern right now.
Yeah. When we first met, the first moment that we met, you told me that you were looking to move, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when we got married, that was, what'd you say? It was 3 years to the day from you moving here?
Yeah. October 13th, 2018 was 3 years exactly to when I moved to Virginia. And based off the past, I would have been gone on that day. I would have been traveling to the next corner of the country. But now that was the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm staying permanent for the rest of my life, yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. So that was a little bit, something we had to figure out at the beginning of our relationship was, were you going to keep looking? Because you wanted to keep looking at jobs outside of where we live.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to figure that out. But, what were you saying about your career you had a certain conception of how career should be, like you should find your passion in your job, and then after we met, then you said it changed?
Yeah. Oh, you're asking if I thought that's what I needed to do first or something? Yeah, I thought that I needed to find my passion in life and then find that career, getting that, and then I could be open to getting married and dating, or dating and then getting married. But I was lost. I was just going from place to place. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was in different industries, completely different industries from job to job. And then, what were we? I forgot, sorry.
Well, you're saying, so you were starting over in new industries and new cities, every 3 years or so.
Right.
And then when we started dating and talking about marriage, and then we talked about this career possibility for you.
Oh, yes.
The one you're in now?
Yes. Yeah, well, that's because you knew me so well. I mean, you knew that I loved traveling. I like talking to people. I like getting out and about. And I was at a desk job at that time. I was miserable, stuck in my desk all day, not being able to talk to anyone. But yeah, and you said you knew a friend who was involved in that. It seems like something perfect for me. And it just so happened to make a lot more money than what I'm doing, or than what I was doing at the time. And I didn't even know about that job. And then after I was researching it, I'm like, how did I not know that this job existed? This is perfect for me. And I pursued it. And then, as I tell you this all the time, ever since I met you, quit is never an option. I mean, in the past, I would have maybe gotten excited about something and worked pretty hard. And yeah, I would have worked real hard at it, all gung-ho, but it would have fizzled out. And I would have stopped and said, oh, it just wasn't for me, and move on to the next one. But now, all I do is picture your face. I see you, I see the girls, and it's like, oh, no, quitting's not an option, keep going. So that you're like my source of motivation and that lucky charm that's got me going. And I'm, also I don't know. In the past, I thought that, I shouldn't be trying to pursue money so much. I don't know, maybe trained to think that a lot of money is an evil thing, something like that. But that was holding me back quite a bit in life. And what's so bad about wanting to achieve things? I mean, I'm being in sports all my life. I enjoyed achieving things and winning. Why not just be honest with yourself and accept that? And so now, since meeting you, I've accomplished way more than I had the previous however many years. And yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, thank you for saying all that.
You're welcome.
It means a lot.
It's true.
And it's funny that you've actually changed jobs more frequently since we've been together.
Right.
Because you were staying in whatever that job was for 3 years when you would move to a new city previously. And now, even though you're more like stable and, have like more of a career path in mind, you've actually changed jobs. Like, why have you changed jobs more now?
Well, I guess I've stayed open to opportunities, and I have a drive now to keep getting better and better. And the next time whenever I get a new job, it's a better job, more money, better able to support a family. I got a family now, I got to take care of. So it's just that, that's the main motivation too, being able to take care of the family. And the better I do, the better off our life is.
So you're following the opportunities, and that just so happens to take you to a new job and a new position. And whereas before it was like you were changing a job as like a whole new life almost.
Oh yeah, starting over again.
Yeah, it was kind of out of desperation of being bored and unsatisfied previously. So now you're changing out of a different motivation.
Oh yeah, I told you that too, how I thought that I needed to be single and live by myself, and I didn't realize how lonely I was until I started living with you and the girls every day after we got married. I'm like, how did I live like that? I was miserable. And you're stuck in your own thoughts. It's just, yeah, it's terrible. And you don't realize it when you're in it. It's just, you gotta have another perspective to be able to see it. I could never do that again. Yeah, I could never live like that again now that I have a taste of living with a family, living with the person you love every day. I mean, this was what I wanted the whole time. It was hidden. It's not like it was something that I didn't know. It had to have been in me the whole time to know that I wanted a wife and kids. But I just needed to find the right woman to bring it out. Yeah. And that was from the second I saw you. It wasn't like I saw you, we dated a bit, got to feel it out, and then we evolved into like, oh, I'm committed to this woman. It was like the second I saw you is when my life changed. Yeah, and these things
Mine
came
too.
out of me. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, you encouraged me on this career path for me, my passion, and pursuing that and helping other women too. But this is, we were talking about you, so I didn't want to. I mean, I'm just saying that it goes both ways, but it just so happens the topic of this conversation is what you know. What you wanted to
Well,
talk
I mean, that goes into my career now with what you're talking about. Like, I wanted you to pursue this because I saw you're so good at it. Your passion for it. I see how much energy it gives you and enjoyment, and I didn't want you to look back in life and regret and say like, oh, what if I could have done that? Woulda, shoulda, coulda. You know, I've met so many people who are older who complain and moan a lot, saying, oh, they could have been this, and that just looks like a nightmare scenario. So living with regret is one of my biggest fears, and I didn't want that for you. But I've gotten to knock off so many things off my bucket list from meeting you. I thought I needed to be single to have a travel job. I mean, you were the one who encouraged me to do it, and now I have a travel job. I've gone to so many other places with this job. I mean, I remember the first time when I went to San Francisco. I always wanted to go to San Francisco as a kid. And I got off the plane, and I swear, like, I heard music all around. It was like a movie scene. Yeah, it's been awesome.
Oh, makes me so happy. Yeah, so you kind of want to tell other guys that and spread the message that like you don't have to like live your life before you get married, and then when you get married you have no life. Like you don't. I mean, a lot of people kind of think that's what they're signing up for, and I guess you're sort of countervailing that or contradicting that.
Right.
That
Well,
message.
I mean, it was just, and then this is like the perfect scenario. I mean, you're so supportive of everything that I want to do, and that's why I'm able. I mean, if you weren't on board, I wouldn't in myself be able to do it. Like, how could I go that knowing that my wife was upset about things? So that has to be in there. I mean, I definitely find the woman that is gonna be on board with you pursuing your dreams still, not just locked down and stay at home all day and not do anything.
Yeah. So women have a lot of power in that situation to allow their husband to be happy and not just be happy but be fulfilled and have a purpose and a mission, or to handicap and hamstring that with being rigid and controlling or just negative about things.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, I remember in the beginning I always said my favorite thing about you was your calmness, your calm energy, and I want to get across that I thought that I needed to be single, or I thought I was going to be single forever. And I at least thought I needed to be single while I got my career started and get myself established.
Right.
But my career really started and I got myself established once I got married. Well, once I met you and in the process of getting married. So it was the total opposite of what I was thinking and what my plan was at the time. And it just happened. I was open to it. You know, I wasn't looking for dating. Wasn't looking for a wife. I just went with the feeling. You know, something changed in me that day I saw you, and I went and pursued it. And here we are.
Yeah.
And I was literally about to triple my salary.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is.
And it's going to keep going up. It's
Yeah.
going to keep going up as the years go by.
Yeah. You're pretty young still. So I guess the one thing I wanted to clarify that I didn't think we got to was how you thought that you were going to find your passion in like the right job, right? But then at one point you told me that you felt like your passion was more like having a family to support, kind of thing. Like the motivation to work is kind of more important than the specific kind of work in a way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, is to support my family, give us a better life, I don't
Do you
know.
remember saying that?
Yeah, I don't remember everything exactly what I said.
I remember telling my brother, repeating it to him because he kind of felt the same way. Like he couldn't figure out what his passion was. And I think a lot of guys feel that way, that they don't know what kind of job is going to make them happy, but not knowing that really the family is what makes you happy and the job is to support the family. I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that's
No,
kind of
I
what you had
definitely said like that the passion was redirected. Like, so what if you can't find the perfect career? I mean, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna keep searching and not live a good quality of life? I mean, that's not how it works in this country. You gotta do what you gotta do to make it happen. So redirected that passion towards giving my family a better life. And once I was able to do that, it took a lot of pressure off. And I was able to let whatever happened in my career happen, stay open to things, just excel at my job. And if something else was presented to me, go with it.
Yeah.
And if it happens to change and be a better situation, it was meant to be. If it wasn't, it wasn't meant to be. Like, no reason to force anything.
So still staying flexible, because like before you had been sort of starting over in each new career, each new industry or job path, and now even though you're kind of changing jobs more often, you're still kind of staying on the same path, but with the flexibility of like more options and better potential for advancement or more flexibility or different schedule or whatever the changes might be, that you still have a lot of variability in where you could be going next and what you could be doing next, but without starting over from scratch every time.
Yeah, that's such a relief to not have to start over from scratch. I mean, I just keep going up and keep growing from here. I remember when I got this job in September, and I was like, oh, I just realized that I'll never have to like go on a search for a completely other path again and go through that hoopla.
Wow.
I can just now grow forward, because each time I had a new job, it was like starting from the bottom. I never have to do that again. And even if it is like a little different role, it's still whatever I would get next is just gonna be whatever the next thing is above whatever I'm doing now. So it's like, oh my goodness, now I can just keep growing from here on out. And that's what we do. I mean, not just with careers, but that's what we've been doing. Anyway, we always talk about how we got to keep growing. We got to keep going forward. No reason to dwell on the past so much. I mean, you can just keep going forward and be open. And even if there isn't a specific path, I mean, definitely we have goals in mind, and that's at least something that we can picture, but it's not like we need this step by step along with the journey. We have the goal in mind, and there's all kinds of things along the way that can happen, and just be open to them. Whatever's meant to be is meant to be. So it's like there's a blueprint, but it is flexible.
Yeah, so you touched on something that I like. We're talking about, what's good for men to keep in mind, and some misconceptions that they might have, or that they haven't considered how life could go this way if they were to get married, or get married sooner. But on the women's side too, I have to talk to women a lot, and I try to encourage them to see the potential and how this path can evolve very quickly too. I mean, we haven't even been married 2 years, and you're already doubling and tripling your salary. And but I talk to a lot of women, and they want to make sure that they find a man who's financially stable and secure, and has a good career and isn't jumping from job to job and things like that. But they don't realize their power in the situation to be a partner who helps create this path. And I just feel like that's so much more fulfilling from my side, is that I get to be a part of it instead of just like show up and you're ready-made, and I had nothing to do with it, you know? And I mean, I'm nothing wrong with anybody who does that, but I just try to get women to open up their minds to the possibilities. It may not have to go that way and still have a really good life and still be able to achieve a lot and still, you know, not settling for a life that's less than, but it just looks different and it has a different path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess you know, we were so connected from the first time we met. You must have saw that in me, that potential in me. I mean, yeah, you can't do that with just anyone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You reminded me because you were saying that we grow in all areas, and that's what I try to tell women is that it's more important the trajectory that the guy is on than it is the particular station he happens to be in at the time. Like, where on the path is not as important as the trajectory and the growth potential. And I call it growth mindset, that when you have a partner who's committed to always growing, then that can head off a lot of problems, because when you stagnate, you're you know, things aren't going to just stay the same, they're actually going to go downhill. So if we're always moving forward and looking to improve as people and not like stuck in our ways that it's always going to be this way, then we've got that chance to make bigger things happen.
It's fun too. It's so much fun. Like, especially if you had many years of being stagnant or in a drought, then all of a sudden this newfound passion for growth. Every time we've grown, like, and gone another step, like, it's an endorphin shot, and keep getting it. Mm-hmm. It's been so much fun, reaching different levels.
Yeah.
And it's just like you want to keep doing it more and more and more. And just imagine if you keep growing and you have that for the rest of your life, all those years, where are you going to be at the end? Well, you get to leave this amazing life for your children and their children, and just have a legacy going.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We're working on it. We're getting there. Mm-hmm. So we do need to wrap up, but thank you so much. And I hope you said maybe we would do this again.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll get better, people. Just give me some time. Bear with me.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Well, like I said the first time I met you, that I couldn't believe that you were stuck behind a computer, not talking to anyone all day long, because it was very clear how outgoing and social you are.
Well, yeah, that was
right?
That was pretty funny. Yeah, I was miserable at that job, definitely, but I had to do what I had to do for work. Well, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it got us here. But it just shows that I saw that in you. And,
yes.
And that we can bring that out in each other.
Yeah, you brought out everything. I mean, all the things that were dormant in me for years. They weren't new things. It's just things that were awakened. And then I think I've told you that that's how maybe I knew I was in love, or what love is to me. And we say funny, as in love to me isn't a selfish way, but it's just being goofy. That you've made me better. Like, I've been able to accomplish the things. I've been more motivated than ever since meeting you. And I'm like, wait, that's when you know you found the one that you love, when you found the person that brings out all that hard work and all that. Just motivating to be a better person.
Yeah, that told me that too. When your life was better, and I tell that to single women who don't know, you know, if the relationship they're in is the one that they should keep working on, or if, you know, they should move on. And I always ask, you know, how is he doing now compared to when you met? You know, is his life better? Is he blossoming? Is he growing? Or is he, you know, in a funk and having trouble being motivated and things like that? So, yeah, I think that's a good indicator. I agree.
Great. All right.
Okay. Well, thank you so much again.
Yeah, no problem. We'll chat again sometime.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. All right.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.